Hey guys, this is today's gear. The AS-D2 feather razor. Gonna put a feather blade in it again. Second shave with this blade. And I'm hoping that it gets a little smoother on that first pass. Second and third are great, but I'm hoping it gets smoother on the first. City Slicker from Stirling. I enjoy the scent quite a bit. It's light, but I'm just really enjoying it. And Semogue Owners Club with the Taj handle. Want to put some more uses on it. I think maybe we're in the 57 uses range on this brush. He's been soaking for a little bit, plenty of time. So he should be ready to go. I've got my jigger of 40 milliliters of water. And I'll be using that throughout the shave, and I'll subtract at the end to know how much water I used, so that in case you guys want to try to duplicate the lather, because after all, Stirling has so many soaps that any of the beef tallow soaps, would work in this same loading type situation. Obviously, the brush could be different, but at least if you minimize the variables, then you get a little bit closer to similar results. If you're having trouble with your own lather, then maybe this will help you a little bit. All right, so let's load up. I just finished taking a shower, so I've got a clean face. We got 1 day of growth on here. And so let us put the blade in the razor and we will begin. While I have dry hands is when I like to mess with the paper envelope of the blade. Feathers are bad about that waxy stuff that holds the blade into the paper. One good thing about using a blade multiple times, like 15 or something, some people just use them 3 times and throw them away. If you use it 15, 20 times, then once you get into that range where that buildup has kind of worn away a little bit and it doesn't bother you, and then you get more uses where if you change frequently, then that buildup of that waxy stuff is kind of always plaguing you. All right, this mild razor with a very sharp blade. The feather it seems to be sharper than the other blades in certain ways. And so that's why I say it's a sharper blade. Many people like to fight and say feather's not sharper than any others. And it seems that way to me. It translates that way to me. All right. Let's load for about 20 seconds with the Stirling soap. A woodiness to this one as well. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I like the woody type scent. All right, I'm going to shake off a lot of the water out of here, and we'll start at the 05 mark and go to the 25. And I'm kind of, since I used this maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, it's got a little bit of residual water in there, and this brush holds a lot of water in the bristles because it absorbs the water during the soaking process. All right, so it pretty quickly foamed up. All right, put a little of the soap on my face just to not have it go down the drain. Let's point you down. It is a discontinued soap because people just really complained about it, and so Rod threw it away. Put it on the clearance page for a while, but he got tired of people's complaining. It was just kind of above average. And he just chucked it. He didn't want to deal with it anymore. How about that? Good for him. Saving himself all that anguish. It's too bad he didn't have some channels. I mean, I'm sure there are guys all over the world that could have used that shaving soap. I mean, it performs great. But distribution has always kind of been the issue with that kind of thing. How are you going to find somebody who is not going to contribute to the problem, but is going to be grateful for what they have, you know? If you could identify those people, then I bet we could have found volunteers in the shaving world to pay for the shipping to get that soap out to them. But those things are hard to do in real life. Whatever's left of this scent is just something I enjoy. A light cologniness behind the woodiness. I just felt like using it again. It's a little harder to track the water as I am using it, because the syringe I used to use, it was very easy to see how much water I had squeezed out of the syringe because of the blue syringe, you know, piston mechanism. And so I kind of always knew how much the water level as we were going through the shave. So I'm kind of having to eyeball it a little bit more now and pay more attention to the lather than the water instrument. And already we have added water kind of quickly, and I think we've ended in a pretty good place here. I'm going to add just a little bit more. And then let's put a little bit of water on my face. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to rinse off the soap that I put on there at the very beginning on my face. Why waste that? Because it's providing good slickness right now. Comfy brush from maybe even use number 5. Still got plenty of tips that need to split, and so that means it's going to get even better as the uses go on. Oh yeah, this lather's tremendous. I think I hit it right on the money here. Got rid of some of the extra that was gathering up around the brush. It may need a little bit more water, but I bet it'll be okay. Because that extra around the brush was probably going to fly off if I didn't pick it off myself. So now at this point, I feel like we've got a good mix on my face. Could be a little wetter, but that's okay. And so what I'm going to do is, from this point on, I'm seeking to just allow the soap and the lather to kind of work into my skin. If you find, we were talking about the squeegee effect in one of the comments, and on a recent shave video I did, I mentioned how I was using the Rockwell 6S, but my preferred razor in that category was the carved Christopher Bradley razor. And one person commented that, look at that, awesome, that for them, the Rockwell, they were able to test both, and the Rockwell was terrific. They felt that the carve kind of squeegeed the lather away from the face, so that then it wasn't there for the blade. And my point was that, well, I think the Rockwell's probably going to do the same thing. It pushes the lather aside as well. And furthermore, and I didn't say this, but because it was very lighthearted and we were kind of joking back and forth, is that you need to give the lather time to soak into your skin, because what that thin film is really what you want, and either razor, just about any razor, is not going to scrape all that away. If it's just sitting on top of your skin, if you've maybe mixed up a nice lather like this and you didn't put it on your face with a brush, you just kind of scooped it with your hand and treated it almost like a canned shaving foam, then it's just sitting on top of your skin. And in that case, I could see a squeegee effect happening where it's removing the slickness from your face. But working it properly, having a well-hydrated lather, leaving it on your face for a couple of minutes as you work it in further, that sort of thing, you're going to leave that thin film that the razor is not going to be able to push away. And it will still be there by the time the blade follows a few millimeters later, is my belief. All right, so is the feather going to be a smoother boy today? Let's just find out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the money right there. That is the magic. And it's only going to get smoother from there. I learned the first pass, or rather I learned the first shave of this blade, which was last night. This one can give me irritation, I believe, and I believe it did because I was so comfortable in working a certain area. Down here, I actually gave myself a weeper and some razor burn. I was just, because I call it stealth irritation, where all of a sudden you feel it during the third pass or after the third pass. It was hiding. All right, very good. Good first pass, and we'll rinse. And I ended up with a good bit of tenderness and razor burn. However, the balm that I used was similar to this liniment here. It was from Declaration Grooming, this one is, and the other one was from L&L, which renamed to Declaration. And it worked very well. I was forgetting about that irritation very shortly after the shave. Left a little bit of water on my face, and so that is combining nicely with this lather. Perfect consistency, nice creaminess, but well hydrated and very slick. Always keeping a very light touch. Yep, you can feel that slickness there. No tenderness or anything right now. If you really kind of give yourself some irritation, you can cause that to be brought back to life. If you keep shaving day after day, and you're not really able to switch to a more mild razor, or if it's bad enough, even a mild razor can cause those problems to perpetuate themselves. And maybe your technique is great, but because you had a rough shave 2 days ago, that great technique is still generating some irritation. And so if you're able to, sometimes it's nice to take a break, skip a day to let your skin recover. And 20 seconds of loading, and I'm about to put on my third pass, and I've still got another 3 passes in the bowl. When am I going to learn? With Stirling, it's just concentrated and wonderful, a great value, and lasts a little, goes so far. And these aren't skimpy lathers. right, we're going to go cross grain again. Even tilt my razor up a little bit so that there is a slight guillotine slicing motion against the direction of growth. I'll even switch to my left hand over here, which I don't usually do. See, it doesn't quite have the gift. You can see my skin moving. It doesn't quite have the gift of gliding over the skin like my other hand is able to be more kind and consistent and gentle. Lighter touch. It's had a lot more practice. So this is a wonderfully comfortable shave. The closeness of the cut yesterday was left a little to be desired. I'm curious how it's going to be today. I'm getting a little bit of blade feel in a kind of a bad way as I do this direction here, which has a slide against the grain aspect to it. I'm not going to develop that and work on that any further. We'll just keep it comfy today. Now a good rinse. Not great in terms of closeness. I do see length and a good many tips right here. The irritation is potentially there if I try to hit this area again. But let's just see what happens. Very careful. I'd rather walk away with a little bit of stubble than irritation. That got a few more that'll touch up pass, and most jobs, this is a very problem-free shave. Nobody's going to look and say, hey, he doesn't have a close enough shave. However, there are some higher end jobs where the stringency of the rules and appearances, this probably wouldn't be good enough for that type of position. Yeah, just kind of light and pleasant, and just hits me right. I can see how other people might not like it too much, but it hits me right. City Slicker. All right, let us put on just kind of a little bit of wetness so that this liniment has a place to go. This is the Try This Soap liniment from Declaration Grooming. And I want to use it before it'll go bad eventually. So I want to use it up and enjoy it while I can. It's a nicer feel today than yesterday. I don't feel like I'm repairing. I'm needing to use the liniment to repair any roughed up issues. Right here feels very nice. The little tenderness that I generated earlier is gone. So it was just a small amount. So happy with the shave. And the whiteness that you see on my skin is going to absorb in just a matter of a few minutes. So we're good. And we saw that we had extra lather today. Let's see how much water we used today. We're looking at, very similar to yesterday, almost 25, looks like about 24 milliliters of water. And yesterday was what soap did we use? I believe it was the Vito's Super Cocoa soap, and I think it had a similar amount of water with it. It's another concentrated one that gives you a lot of lather for a little bit of soap loaded. Excellent. Smelling good. Yeah, that's a good match. They don't conflict at all because the soap is not super strong. It's not intense. So you can follow it up with pretty much anything. And Awesome. Awesome. Well, in my mind, I sure thought that I was getting closer shaves with the AS-D2, even with the feather in it that I was shaving with, I don't know, 2, 3 years ago. And closeness is a little bit lacking. We'll just play around with it, keep it around. It's a beautiful piece, well made. It'll last forever. Stainless steel. It's not perfect weight. The thickness of the handle I like. It's not so thin that it's dainty. But it's also not so thick that it's not nimble. It's easy to, shaving with one head and then flipping it over to do another area is very easy and natural. The the lightness and speed of the razor is nice. The excellent glide over my skin. Very happy with the performance of it in every aspect, except for right now at least. The closeness just isn't quite matching what I usually like. But like I said, in general, it does. I'll be able to go to work with this without any problem. So, practically speaking, it gives a nice close shave. And of course, I must not forget to say, I don't go against the grain. Almost always, I stay cross grain at the most aggressive type of stroke. And so, if you can go against the grain, I am certain that you're going to be able to achieve the baby butt smooth with this razor without a problem. And here's what he looks like after the towel stropping today. Still got plenty of tips that need to split, like I was saying. And but man, when they do, he'll be impressive. A lot of people are big fans of this Semogue Owners Club brush, whether it has the cherry handle or the ash, I think. And then the Taj handle is recent, the last couple of years. I think it's beautiful. I have the cherry and had been using that one. But then once I saw the Taj, I just kind of fell in love. I didn't want to abandon my cherry one, but I kind of have. All right, well, I've got other wood-handled brushes, so, it's all right. Maybe someday I'll give my son the cherry one, and I'll keep the Taj myself or something. He's going to end up with it all anyway someday, right? All right. Good shave. Good shave. 24 or so milliliters of water and 20 seconds of loading. And I had tons of wonderful lather. Twice as much as I needed. Face feels good. I don't feel any irritation or anything like that right now. So I'm a happy camper. This scent is very pleasant, and the liniment helping out my skin just in general with moisturization, things like that as I go to sleep. So very nice. I don't think there's anything else to report. Talk about the lather games for just a second. We'll be doing that this is May and June. I got to put my plan together. I can't wait until the last minute like I have the last couple of years. I've got to put my schedule together so that I'm less pressed for time. Try to do that. All right, guys, that's coming in June, and there's a schedule posted on the Reddit wet shaving subreddit. And if you look around for that, it's a calendar that's got, and so even if you have 3 soaps, you could still participate because we do a different theme each day. Well, what if you took your 3? Odds are each of those 3 would go somewhere. But then what if you took your 3 soaps and just did a write-up about how you think it would apply to the days where it doesn't really apply? Wouldn't that be kind of fun? Interesting read. Could get you creativity points. It gets you in there talking with everybody about and reading everybody else's stuff, laughing, enjoying the games, and why not? So that's an option. Also, you could get on there's a sample trading thread, and you can get in there with that and try to find some things you're missing. If you want to try to request some samples, of course, there's still plenty of time to get on Maggard's website and order some samples if you want to do it with a little bit more completeness. But even if you just took the 3 soaps that you had and participated just for those 3 days, you can do that. Obviously, you're not going to win because you don't have the points, but be fun participation, right? Just enjoying it, watching it. So feel free to do that. Totally. All right, guys. Good shave. I'm happy with that one. I think we are done for today, and I hope that this has been good for you somehow. I'm a little disappointed in the feather razor. I remember it being a little nicer with a feather blade in it. I remember it being kind of this way with other blades, not the feather blade. And so that's a little surprising. However, I did learn and confirm that use number 2 was much more comfortable and smooth on that first pass. I wore away some kind of burr or whatever on that first use. And now, comfortable and enjoyable probably for the next several shaves. No problem at all. Keen, sharp, as well as comfortable. So at least we know that. And there we go. You guys take care. Have a good night. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Bye.